Hello, we're here for the Daily Forex Report for June 27. We are looking at the US-Japanese yen pair first. This pair moved lower on Friday, did close lower. However, it did create an inside bar, so we're going to look for the breakout. This pair opened up just by a little bit, not sufficient enough to really look for a trade, but nonetheless, it did gap. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 90.24, possibly as low as 88.68. Look for some resistance around 89.75 and look for some support around 89.00. Now, looking at the Euro USD, this particular pair closed higher on Friday. It did break the previous session's high, but pulled back to close a little bit lower. Overall, this pair is moving sideways. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 124.60, possibly as low as 121.63. Look for some resistance around 124.15 and look for some support around 122.10. Now, the pound US dollar pair continues its slow move to the upside. It did move higher on Friday, closed higher. Definitely has a bias to the upside. Look for it to potentially go as high as 151.46, possibly as low as 147.51. Look for some resistance around 150.75 and look for some support around 149.75. Let's take a look at the US Swiss. This pair continues to move to the downside. It did close lower, broke through previous support, and closed lower on Friday. We are looking for it to continue to the downside. If we do get a pullback, look for it to potentially go as high as 111.09, possibly as low as 108.66. Look for some resistance around 109.75 and look for some support around 10900. Now, as far as news announcement goes, nothing for tomorrow. However, today the Canadian in Canada, they're holding the G20 summit in Toronto, which is good news. It's a conglomeration of multinational community coming together and looking at specifically foreign exchange. Now, we also have the German CPI being released sometime today. No real time given, no consensus on that one. Previous was 1.2%, so definitely keep an eye on that. As far as what I'm looking for during this next session, go to the US-Japanese yen pair and back out a little ways. You will see that we have, there we go. We had an inside bar on Friday that was created. Looking for a breakout to the downside, looking to sell short at that price and looking for it to come down here. About 20 pip move. However, we're looking long term for it to move down here about 125 pips. So just to keep an eye on that, take a look at this particular trade. Looking to short at 89.20, 89.19, somewhere in that range. Looking to potentially take a profit about 20 pips lower. Let me zoom out a little bit more. But really looking for it to move on down to this area down here, which would be around 125 pips. We do have a few other areas of support previously that you need to be aware of. Just keep an eye on some of these levels as this particular pair moves to the downside, assuming that we get a continuation of that move. Basically looking to short at the 89.20 mark, then coming down, being cognizant of the fact that we could get pullbacks at any time on its march downward at any one of these previous support areas. We have the 88.98 area, 88.55, 88.30, and 87.94. Do realize that this could go through it all within one session. Definitely keep an eye on this pair. I would suggest moving your stop loss as each one of these is hit, moving it from a 1-to-1 to break even after you get this first move to the downside of about 20 pips. Hopefully it will continue on down and move your stop loss. Each subsequent move down, move your stop loss further and further down, just trailing the market. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.